If you're a first-person shooter fan, you know there are few different subgenres in this category. We have the looter shooters like Destiny 2, battle royales like Apex Legends, my favorite which is the extraction shooter such as Escape from Tarkov, one of the games that we are going to talk about today, and lastly the most popular one, the arcade shooters such as Call of Duty, the other game that we are going to talk about in this video. Hey yo everybody, Trunkosher here, hope you guys have a fantastic day full of joy and happiness. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, I want to compare the most recent entry to Call of Duty franchise, which is the Modern Warfare 3, to my favorite video game of all time, which is Escape from Tarkov, and to see how these games are handling the most important aspect of a first-person shooter game, which is the guns. And just bear that in mind, I'm going to only check out the Modern Warfare 3 guns itself, not the ones that were carried over from Modern Warfare 2 to Modern Warfare 3. I'm going to cover those in a future video. So without further ado, let's crush it. As all of you probably know, these two games don't have anything in common. Modern Warfare 3 is a fast-paced, chaotic, insurgents-based game, and arcadey, which is the charm of the game. It is easy to get into with simplified and user-friendly mechanics such as aim assist, minimap, short matches, skill-based matchmaking with a bunch of parkouring and pop culture references, which makes it super easy for anyone to get into and enjoy it to some extent. On the other hand, Tarkov is a hardcore game which is trying to be as realistic as possible for a video game according to Nikita, the head developer of the game. Game is ambitious, hardcore, difficult to dive into with a deep learning curve which takes hundreds of hours to just learn the basics such as the maps, healing, ballistics, usable items, and it doesn't hold your hand at all. It kind of throws you in the game and tells you to figure it out. But that's enough of talking about the games. Now let's talk about the main topic of this video, which is the guns and how these two games handling those. As you know, Call of Duty doesn't use the real name of the guns and exact modeling. They use some similar name and model the guns a bit differently visually. But Tarkov uses the exact models, names, or even stats as the real counterparts because they want to be as realistic as possible. So let's check out these 7 guns. If you like the video so far, please click the like button before we move forward with these games. It would be much appreciated. Let's start with assault rifles and then we move down the list. HK G36 is a full auto assault rifle from Heckler & Koch manufacturer, which also have made the iconic guns such as MP5, MP7, G3, and 416. In the Call of Duty, they named it Holger 556. It has 588 rounds per minute fire rate in the game, which is much slower than IRL. You can mod this gun with mostly generic mods that are available in the game for all the guns and some specific ones to Holger 556. In Tarkov, it has its actual name G36 and the fire rate that matches the real life with 750 rounds per minute. You need to mainly use specific mods that are just made for G36, and you can use a few generic ones such as foregrips or muzzles that are shared between the same calibers. The models both look very good and fairly accurate, but Tarkov is the one which exactly matches the real life. And that brings us to the next gun, which is another Heckler & Koch gun, and that is UMP. This is a smaller submachine gun which was designed to be used in CQB and urban areas. It's chambered in 45 ACP in both games. But in the Modern Warfare 3, you can also get a 9mm Parabellum version of it. It's known as a striker in Modern Warfare 3. It has a 645 rounds per minute fire rate, which is just a bit higher than IRL, with 540 meters per second muzzle velocity, which is almost also the double of real life. For modding in Modern Warfare 3, we are again mainly looking at generic Call of Duty mods with few exceptions, and with that you can make pretty wild looking versions of this gun. In Tarkov though, we see that the gun has its real name, which is UMP45, and it has 600 rounds per minute fire rate with muzzle velocity of 332 meters per second, which is much closer to what it is in real life. You don't have that many modding choices in this game, game beside the specific muzzle attachment for the gun and some generic sights and tactical devices, and only 25 rounder magazines. For the model design, MW3 went for a more generic looking SMG, but Tarkov is the one that stays true to the real UMP. Next from Modern Warfare 3 is Lockwood 680, which is based on real-life iconic Remington 870, the pump-action shotgun in any video game ever made. Lockwood 680 has RPM of 150 in the game and velocity of 320 meters per second. In Tarkov, the gun has its real name, and like all other semi-automatic guns in the game, they're all limited to 30 rounds per minute to prevent from macroing. It has 437 meters per second velocity, and effective range of the gun is not that much. You can mod it pretty extensively though in the game, but since it's a pump action shotgun, doesn't see that much love in the game. The model designs are great in both games. At this point, you probably see that there is a trend going with these guns. In Modern Warfare 3, guns have made up names and not accurate fire rate and muzzle velocity that is mostly to keep them balanced with other guns. Modding is mostly with generic parts that you can put on any gun regardless of model and the category of the gun. On the other hand, Tarkov is mostly staying true to the real stats of the guns and with real life aftermarket parts and more accurate designs, though that can come with some negatives such as the gun is not fun to use or it's widely outclassed by other guns. With that said, next gun we have is PKM, aka Play Me Out 762 in Modern Warfare 3. This gun, as obvious by its name from Modern Warfare 3, is chambered in 762, but it's not the same 762 we know from AKMs. This is a 762 by 54, which is a big boy round. It is the same caliber used in SVD, Dragunov and Mosin. It is loud and sluggish to handle. With a 100 round belt fed, it's a powerhouse that you don't want to mess with. Play Me Out 762 has 491 rounds per minute fire rate and 810 muzzle velocity. You can mod it extensively with different barrels and stocks to make it handle better. In Tarkov, PKM has 650 rounds per minute fire rate, which is much faster than MW3 with 976 meters per second muzzle velocity. There is not much that you can do to this gun, and the only way that you can get your hands on this gun in Escape from Tarkov is by killing the Scav boss Kaban on Streets of Tarkov map. Modeling is great in both games and accurate. The next three are all handguns, so we can go through them a little bit faster. First is RSH-12 aka Tyr in MW3. This is a 50 cal revolver, a crazy handgun. Tyr has 260 fire rates and 310 muzzle velocity. You can dual wield it, put buckshot rounds in it, or add a stock and a long barrel and make a baby 50 cal sniper. In Tarkov though, you have it with firing rate capped at 30 and 342 meters per second velocity. There's not much you can do to it beside adding a sight and a tactical device. Very devastating guns in both games. Next we have Breda M9A3, an iconic handgun also known as Renetti in MW3. Renetti is a 3-burst gun chambered in 9mm in MW3 that you can dual wield it and pull some crazy plays with it. It has 206 rounds per minute fire rate with a delay between each burst. In Tarkov though, this gun is just a semi-automatic handgun like real life, and it is very decent. Capped fire rate of 30 and average velocity of 376 make it one of the most used handguns in the game, especially in earlier stages of the wipe. Both guns look great in both games, but they operate totally differently. And last but not least, Glock or Core 45 in Call of Duty. No FPS game is complete without this gun. In COD, we have it chambered in 45 ACP, as the name suggests, with a very fast firing rate of 400, which I don't think anyone can hit without using a macro. It has some decent specific mods for it, and you can make very weird looking ones. In Tarkov we have a couple different variants of Glock, but we don't have the 45 ACP variant of it. They are all 9mm versions, but they all look the same, so we can compare these two together. It is the most moddable handgun in the game with some really fancy gold-plated sliders and ability to add a stock or even a 50-rounder drum mag to it. Both Glock and Core 45 look good and they are my favorite handguns in both games. At the end, this comparison wasn't to tell you which one of these games handled the guns better. It was mainly for entertainment. Both of these games have totally different audiences and that makes the developers to tweak things the best way for their customers. MW3 is more fun and arcadey, so there's more emphasis on making the guns a way that are always fun and usable. On the other hand, Tarkov is more going for immersive and realism, which doesn't care that much about balancing and easy of use when they are designing the guns. With that, thank you for joining me on this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Also, ring the bell so you're not missing the future videos. Your support means the world to me. Down in the comment section, you can let me know which other two games you want me to compare next. Also, for more bite-sized contents, you can check out my TikTok, or if you want to stay connected, join my Discord channel. Links in the description. Until next time, take care, stay awesome. I'll see you in the next one.